Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobes show. Hope it's going to be exciting. Anyway, it's exciting outside. It's November the 5th, and fireworks are exploding everywhere. With me tonight, the lovely Julia, of course. How are you?
Hello, I'm all right.
You had
I'm
a bit of a trouble getting here tonight.
Yeah, luckily I didn't leave it to the last second today.
Yeah. What was the issue?
Traffic trying to get into Worthing, probably to do with the fireworks that were already going off when I was all the way back there.
It's been like, I've been setting up for the show, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been a bit like World War II was going on in the background. I'm just going to zoom in fractionally. There we go. And it just felt like out there was explosions and stuff. And I'm working in here slowly, setting up. And I thought, yeah, I suppose that's a bit like you kind of get used to it in the end. Yeah. It's like bang, bang. And I wonder if during the Second World War, people got a bit used to having the bang, bang crashes and until, it was a bit close. Maybe had more life-threatening things.
I'm sure I mentioned that to someone who was talking about the war and memories of, and I'm sure their answer was something along the lines of that it's the bangs aren't the problem. It's anything that sounds like an air raid siren.
Right.
That's when they,
because it's close at hand,
start getting panicky.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're not in the studio. We are in part of my front room. The half of my kitchen is still in the studio. The progress is a little slow because we've been out filming for the last couple of days. We'll tell you a bit about that in a moment. But let's see if there's anybody out there. We see all the green signs that show that there are. Joe Smith. Hello, Joe. Lovely to see you.
Dan Thompson saying, yeah, I'm first.
Oh, well done, Dan. Paul and Suzanne Watts is out there. Mark Selwood, Anne Osborne, Neil Gardner. Thank you so much for coming. Jonathan Belusic, Shirley Ward, George Timperley. Hello, George. How are you after your stardom on the Bald Explorer site? I expect you've had all the girls swooning after you because, that's what happens to everybody. You ask Dave Ford, who was on the show showing me around the New Forest a while back and around Grapham. He's plagued by wonderful, wonderful girls. I think mostly whippets, actually. He has a few whippets that swoon at him. John Berger from across the pond. Who we got? Kevin Hall. Hello, Richard. Cynthia Walder. Matthew Holdsworth, Dan Thompson, and Paul Hine, just to name a few. We'll have a quick gander at some of the comments. Julia's on comment duty because the comments are closer to you than to me.
Fair one.
So you can keep an eye on all of that.
I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure about the seating arrangement though.
Yeah, well, don't tell them what we're sitting on. Why?
No. I mean, I'm sitting on the other side of you.
Oh.
You can see me this side.
Yeah. So we're actually sitting on an old workbench of my son's, which I do have in my office. I don't use it terribly often. Occasionally I do a bit of working out, a bit of training, obviously keeping myself fit for the bald exploring stuff. I actually use it as a bench to sit on when I'm editing. However, that's what we're sitting on tonight because I haven't got much furniture.
It's a bit wibbly, isn't it?
Your end is more wibbly than mine, actually.
Good job, I've got good balance, eh?
Yeah. And but you're right. Normally, Julia sits this side of me, and I only have one eye.
Damn, see?
And this time, you can't get away with it. I can see because I have peripheral vision. Nothing is there to. We could always try swapping a bit later on.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I've engineered this so that it's easier to operate the show. Although actually, you could probably operate the show easily enough. It is November the 5th. We don't have any fireworks. We're not really doing a fireworks spectacular here in the show. We're just cowering from all the fire. Actually, to tell you the truth, I used to do fireworks shows when I was entertaining. I used to close your ears and shut your eyes for a minute. I used to strip down to a short little thing when I was lithe and had muscles and all that kind of malarkey. And at the Redoubt Fortress in Eastbourne, I used to perform quite a lot to Baby Light My Fire and songs like that. And I would be fire eating, I would lie on a bed of nails, I'd roll fire over me, I would blow huge flames, and then they would do all the fireworks, and all the fireworks came. And in the end, I would do this several, 3-4 nights in a row, over firework night. And then in the end, the fireworks I just got a bit blasé with fireworks. I'd sort of like, yeah, I've seen them now. And I used to use that time to get changed, get back into my civvies, as it were, and get ready to go, because everyone's going, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah. And they're busy. They're busy doing that, looking up, and I was able to break into a few cars and grab a few purses. No. I was able to get out the back and get home because I'd finished my stint. Any massages coming in that's worth of note?
Dan Thompson says, "Why fireworks?"
Oh yes, well Dan Thompson is of course overseas.
Yeah, so he doesn't know about Guy Fawkes Night.
It's Guy Fawkes Night, yeah. It's firework night. The 5th of November celebrates when, well, it kind of celebrates the abysmal attempt to blow up the Houses of Parliament, the capture of one of the perpetrators, Guy Fawkes, who's burned at the stake during the reign of Charles. Who came out? His name is John. From James II. During then, and it celebrates the terrible events and burning. And so now, of course, we don't burn Guy Fawkes particularly. We burn effigies of John. I couldn't see then. I was trying to say George Trump, but I knew it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Well, Margaret. In the old days, it was Margaret Thatcher.
You say those characters, but I saw on the side of the road an Elvis Guy Fawkes, and then there was on the Bold Explorer group on Facebook, there was this, Emily Champion's cousin runs a cafe, I think, but they did a guy for the competition in the village or something, and they won with an Elvis.
With an Elvis.
So it's 2 Elvises I've seen.
I'm surprised they haven't got a Bold Explorer effigy and set fire to a baldy. It's always good fun to set fire to a baldy, because you don't have to worry about the hair, frizzing up.
This is a good idea. We've got pumpkins around still, haven't we?
Yeah. What? Stop it, you. Nobody wants boiled pumpkin. Thank you very much. But have you been to a firework display? Do you go to firework displays? Are you at all bothered about April the 5th? November the 5th?
Oh dear.
What do you think about bonfires? Do you have animals? Julia has animals. And let's find out from Julia what you think about loud bangs and animals.
Well, if it were just one night or even just 1 week, that wouldn't be so bad. But when it's spread out over a good month or 2, it gets a bit tedious, and especially when a lot of pets don't like it.
Is it me, or is it that Halloween and November the 5th seem to have got combined in this continual celebration that even on Halloween people are sending off fireworks?
Yeah, and there's people marketing these silent fireworks as well, right?
Oh, right.
They're not really silent. You still hear this massive pop and bang from the ground as they're sent up. They're just quiet in the air.
They're just quieter
in the air.
Oh, right. But apart from the animals suffering, half the fun is that you hear them. I can't, silent fire. I mean, when I was a kid, we had some indoor fireworks, which burnt something, and then all this sort of funny snow stuff came. There was such a disappointment because obviously as a kid you want and you want to see these big lights and stuff, and I think if you go to a organised firework display, clearly you're going to be a lot safer than amateurs at home who once a year go, what is it again? Light the blue touch paper. Then what does it say? Stand well back. Right, and a bit like a cartoon, you're all ashed, and then it just goes. What happened to Daddy? I'm afraid he's got me off with cinders. Oh dear. Any massages?
Yeah, we've had a couple of complaints of me being too quiet, so I'm trying to speak up and sneak closer to the microphone.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. We've only got the one microphone, which is just on the top of the screen here, and yeah, you do have to speak up a bit.
Mark Selwood is asking for George Timperley's autograph.
Oh, I'm not at all surprised.
Sorry, I lost one. I had a good one there.
Did you have a good one?
Yeah, can't find it now.
Oh, well.
Oh yes, and Matthew Holdsworth has just had a suggestion that I thought of out there actually, or we thought of. I think I can't remember, but taking Bessie out.
Oh, yes, and doing a live show. Funnily enough, we were having that conversation when Julia was parking up and I was finding a spot for her, and I said, "Oh, you said it would be nice to be out and about," and I said, "Oh, we could have taken Bessie." It's always in retrospect that you think of these things, but we'll have to think of that for the future. Although we did mention
there's Christmas coming up though.
Christmas sales.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. I have yet to get a Christmas jumper. Clearly, I've got to get a Christmas jumper for Christmas. Julia has already spotted one.
It's a very good one.
Did you say you'd put it up in the group?
No, I think I will post it to group and see if anyone fancies getting it for him. But I don't know. I can't afford to, unfortunately.
No, I can't afford to. I could just knit tinsel around my collar.
You could.
Yeah. I can't even knit, so what am I saying? I could glue it on. Now, Mark Selwood has excelled himself. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, we've been asking for Christmas cards because we want Christmas cards to arrive here so that they arrive in plenty of time. There's nothing worse, is there, than getting a Christmas card on Boxing Day or New Year's Day.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst thing ever.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things in the world, but getting your Christmas cards after Christmas must top the ranks of terrible things that can happen to you. And, lose an eye, get your Christmas card late. I know what I would rather have. So this year decided that the Christmas cards have got to arrive before the end of this month, November. Just so you know, it's November, not April, as I said earlier. And people have been sending them in. I don't know if you can see behind us. Oh, yes, just behind the lovely Julia there is a few of the Christmas cards. Some of the others are in the studio. Thank you so much for sending them. They've been absolutely fantastic. And we still urge you, if you'd like to send a Christmas card, you still have time. Send an email to richard@vobes.com and they will pop in. Send an email to richard@vobes.com and I will send you my address if you haven't got it. So that'd be very nice, and we'll feature them on the show, of course. Sorry, everything's all a bit upside down with half the studio not in there. We're not in the normal thing. The advantage is that we are roasting by the fire. Well, I am, because I'm sitting right next to the fire. Anyway, Mark Selwood apparently was laid up with not a lot to do. And most people who are laid up in bed away from work might be, watching YouTube, listening to the radio, or catching up with podcasts from the old Bald Explorer domain. But not Mark. He said, I'm not watching any of those YouTube videos that Richard and Julia make. I can't be bothered with any of that nonsense. I'm not going to listen to his podcast. I've got better fish to do. Fry. And he started to get off with his printing machine. He was printing bits off, then he got pairs of scissors out and he was cutting things. He got bits of card and he got his glue out, and as a result he sent them in to us. And I have to say, I opened it unexpectedly, and I had a huge surprise. So ladies and gentlemen, I've got to show this off because a lot of work went into this. This is a Christmas card. Let me just get the other screen up so I can see this in live action. This is a Christmas card. I'm going to zoom in here from Mark Selwood. Now, what you need to appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, is they're all stuck on. Look, they're all stuck on there.
3D relief.
3D relief. And if you can see, this is the picture of the meetup. We'll talk about the meetup in a minute, actually, because that's something we need to think about our next meetup. But never mind that for a moment. So got lots of glitter on it. So look at that. If I move it like that, you can see it's glittering. And it says, Merry Christmas, as you can see, the Bald Explorer group, which is lovely. And I thought at the time, where are you? Oh, there you are. I thought, how lovely that is. And then I opened the card and I was blown away.
He was.
Look at this. I'm going to open it like this, ladies and gentlemen. And here it is in glorious 3D. It is absolutely...
How cool is that?
Hilarious. It's the studio. It is the Vobes and it is the lovely Julia.
Oh, wait. My purple glittery hair, I love
Glittery hair. It's amazing. And it says, thanks very much. Take care, one and all. Ever, arrivederci. Adios, goodbye, as you can see. And then the description below Cheers to the Bald Explorer team. Excuse me. Merry Christmas. Have a super Christmas and a very much exploring New Year, Mark Selwood. But it's just, look.
That's fantastic.
It is a marvellous piece of work. So, Mark, you get the if we had a prize for the best card so far received, you'd get it.
Win.
So that's brilliant. So can you carefully plonk that in the bin? No, not the bin. Somewhere, a pride of place. There we go. So that's fantastic. So there you go. You've got plenty of time. If you want to match that or improve that, then get cracking. It will be lovely. Let's just see if there's any comments coming in on the back of that, lovely Julia.
Okay. Just to say, again, I've lost another one now. Oh, Linda Kane said she was just watching the Worthing Pier fireworks from the top of Highdown.
Oh, what a nice place to go to look at the fireworks from the top of Highdown. I bet you had a terrific view from up there. Was it cold? Was it blustery? Was it windy? Lots of comments coming through. Anything good?
Here, Debbie Martin says, my dogs don't mind fireworks at all, but that's probably because they are gun dogs.
Yeah, it used to allow bangs, aren't they? And, of course, gun dogs, they know how to hold a 12-bore, and they've got good eyesight for getting them loaded up. They can
handle the recoil, can't they?
They can handle the recoil, yeah, absolutely.
Mark Selwood says, I bought a Christmas jumper last year, wore it a day, then came to my senses. Why I bought it and took it back the next day.
Oh, he wore it for a day?
Yeah.
Oh, and then came to his senses
and
took it back.
For the record, up until last year, I really didn't like the build-up to Christmas. I liked Christmas Day, but I didn't like the build-up. But last Christmas, my favourite singer-songwriter brought a Christmas album out a month, just before my birthday. So I was like, ooh, and I really got into this. And I bought this one.
Ta-da! Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Mr. Suggett says he's sorry he's late. That's all right. Mark Selwood says, I had too much time on my hands last week and then decided to make Richard the Christmas card. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
It is amazing. It's cool.
It's absolutely excellent. I mean, there are people out there with hidden talents. You could do that. You could do that as a service for people, Mark. You should think about that. I don't know how long it takes you to do that, but people would pay good money. Probably doesn't pay to do it. It probably took you several hours, and what would you charge? But a lovely concept, personalised card like that, which is great. I just want to talking to Linda Kane. Linda Kane, thank you so much for this book, Walks in Ashdown Forest. You sent me the book. You'd heard us talking about going to Ashdown Forest and doing some walks. And we'd like to do that because, Ashdown Forest is quite large. I don't know the history terribly much. And then you suddenly thought, oh yes, Richard's talking about that. And you sent in, and there's lots of lovely walks all around Ashdown Forest. It says here, explore this beautiful area of Sussex with 23 circular walks to enjoy the forest all through the seasons. So we could make several trips there and report on what we see and what we're supposed to see and how we don't get lost in the forest. It's got some lovely... You can't really see it, it's all in black and white, but thank you very much. Again, I always say this, if anybody's got books on their shelves that they're a bit fed up with that might be of use to us, walking books, guiding books, that sort of thing, and you're not using them, send them in. We'll try and make a video. I know we're a bit behind on doing that, but this winter is a great time to get out and do walking in the countryside and following guidebooks, because there's not many people clogging up the paths. Sorry.
I was going to say, Matthew Holdsworth says, if you go to Pooh Sticks Bridge in Ashdown Forest, then my family are coming too. Fiona Cooper also mentioned Pooh Bridge. Maybe we should have a younger generation meet up.
Yeah, because
the family meet up.
Weren't we saying the other day we've got quite a selection now of younger viewers, and it would be good to gather them together, boil them in the bag, and what am I saying? It's to take them out.
Child catcher, oh no!
Children. Yes, the child catcher is here. No, it'd be great to go out with their parents, of course, and consent and everything like that, all above board, and go and do a day, something fun with the kids. Talking of that, this is a fun thing. We saw Kevin Hall. Hello, Richard. Kevin here. Hello, Kevin. Very kindly, Cynthia Walder was there, and she came bearing gifts. She'd been out looking for various things, and we've got here 10 adventurous walks in West Sussex. So these are about 10 milers. I don't think we'll manage those on video because we've only got 10 minutes. That would be a minute a mile. We could do it in fast action, couldn't we? I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Is it cyclable?
Oh, it might be.
Not that we've either got
bikes.
A bike sorted out at the minute, but
no. Yeah, maybe what we need is a tandem. That's what we need. We need to get a tandem.
Lordy.
We could put 2 cameras on the tandem.
Only if I'm steering.
Yeah, you could steer. I'll be the powerhouse at the back. You be the steering wheel, and the steering lady.
2 eyes and all.
Yeah, you've got 2 eyes. This is less dangerous. You can make sure we're safe. We'll wear the crash helmets and all that business. And yeah, we could go and have Richard and Julia in tandem across the South Downs or whatever. Don't do what Billy and I did. Billy did. Billy went out and bought this expensive bike, went over the South Downs mountain biking, hit a rut, went head over heels, and he thought for a while he'd broken his collarbone, ended up in hospital, but he was okay. Luckily, he didn't hit his head because he'd got potential head problem. But we could do that anyway. So thank you, Cynthia, for that book. It's going to be
And
immensely.
thank you, Cynthia, for my book.
Which is?
Sussex Woods and Other Verse by Eric Parker.
Poetry.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely little poems.
There's
in there.
any ones that you want to read out?
The Cuckoo in Camp is a nice one. Dark elms in deep June heat, poppies blazing in wheat, dust in a windless street, silence, and then unbelievable sweet. Beyond all voices of spring, you, from some copse unseen, calling, calling. You calling back the May, blackbirds singing all day. My own Surrey Lane, and briar budding green. I'd not read this one before.
No, it's all right.
White blown virginal... Well, I'll be out. Anyway.
Nice poems.
What?
Cuckoo in the...
Virginal Gean. What's a gean? Gean.
White blown virginal gean. Beats me.
And primroses in rain. Oh, and it's all of it gone, and I shan't hear you again.
So what does that mean? The cuckoo is gone. Where was that then? Somewhere in...
I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Upleys, June 21, 1917. Cuckoo in the Camp. I'm assuming that's a World War I poem about the loss of the cuckoo who's not in the camp anymore because he says, I won't see you again. What are you looking at?
Go on, read that one.
Fairies. Julia's found one about fairies. There we go. Long ago in the morning, far across the hills, I saw 3 fairies hiding in a field of daffodils. One of them was a yellow fairy with eyes like honey bees, and it stood looking through the stems of the wood anemones. And another was a dancing fairy, bright and thin and blue, and it had legs like a grasshopper's with the sun shining through. And another was a lost fairy, shivering and cold. I think it was a baby fairy, only 1 day old. But oh, I couldn't find it, though it called to me all day long through the daffodils, far, far away. And that was written, I think, in Chilworth. So these are places in Sussex where these were written or about. Chilworth on May the 11th, 1916, looking for fairies. We'll have to go to Chilworth.
Yeah.
See if those fairies are still there.
Just a quick catch up on comments.
Yes.
Dean M. Cooper said, did you find The Fighter Pilot by Robert Doe?
Oh, didn't look. Be honest with you. I didn't look. Should have done. Finished the show. Had a brandy. Went to bed. Didn't actually have the brandy because I don't really drink. Yeah, I haven't. I'll have to have another look. I will. I'll have another. I will double check and look.
Nigel Sadler says, anyone else hearing strange sounds in the audio feed? Now, is that the fire crackling or is it the laptop?
The fire is very
motor?
low. Well, are you getting terrible sound?
No idea. But no one else has said anything.
All right.
Glenn Johnson says, I bought you a book, Richard, but decided to keep it. Sorry. Linda Kane says, Gean is a wild cherry.
Oh, Gean is a wild cherry.
Now I know.
There we are.
That's awesome.
We learn something every day.
Yeah.
And how often do you... So a wild cherry, a Gean would be on a wild cherry tree, presumably. So we can stand there one day by a wild cherry tree and go, look, this is a cherry.
It's a virginal gean.
Look at those geens up there. Oh, I've got an idea is
Gean and done that.
gleaning on the gean.
Done.
Martin Snow says, I used that photo for benefit of those women looking for mature... What photo?
Where were you?
I don't know. I just suddenly caught a thing. Sound is fine, says somebody. Was it Matthew? Matthew Holdsworth. I can hear a faint sound like crackling, says... Sorry about that.
That's the fire.
Oh, yeah, we have got the fire going in the background. But then you said you couldn't hear Julia, so...
True.
It says no problems, although volume down. Hang on, let me have a look, see what's going on here.
Electric fizzing, apparently.
Oh, electric fizzing.
Is it because it's sitting on the laptop?
Let me try that. That might be better.
Slide it my way as well, so I don't have to try and shout.
Yeah, there's
Projection,
wait,
dear.
wait.
I need to project.
There we are. Look. It's closer to you. Closer.
In the way of the mic.
But it's in the way of the mouse. Hang on. Well, that's it. I don't know
That's
where.
a lot.
If I favour you like that, how about that? Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's all a bit Heath Robinson in here. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely boiled. Are you boiled? You might open that door.
I kind of am, actually. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I can't turn the fire down. The only way I can vent it is by opening the door. Anyway, I'll tell you what we'll do. Lovely Kevin Hall has been out and about exploring. We saw him yesterday. Tell you about that a little bit later on and where we've been and what we've been up to. But first, ladies and gentlemen, if I can grab the mouse back from the lovely Julia just for a moment. Kevin is out and about exploring, looking at churches. Let's find out exactly where Kevin is and what he's been up to.
Hi Richard, this is Kevin and Cynthia out on a bit of Vobing reporting. We are at Trotton Church near Midhurst, and we've already been inside the church, but we think this is somewhere that you would love to come and visit to do a bit of filming for yourself, because when we go through here, or when I go through here, you will see on the walls those old murals. And as I step down inside, I'm going to walk down towards the altar, and as you can see, it's a beautiful church, and I'm just going to pan up so you can see the timbers. The roof is just absolutely amazing. Now, when I get down a bit further, I'm going to turn round to show you the end wall of the church. And I think this is something, Richard, that you would really love to see. There is evidently a great deal of history to this place. We spoke to a gentleman just now who told us a little bit of about the history. I'm just going to pan around again, and there's a tomb just down in front of me, just there, which has got a glass top. And the gentleman that's buried in there, along with his, I believe it's his second wife, built the stone bridge that you drive over on your way to Rogate and Petersfield from Midhurst. We're going to get the phone number of the vicar of this church so that you can perhaps do a bit of a visit here. But Cynthia and I would like to have a chat with you about that at a later date. Okay, we'll catch you a bit later. Bye for now.
Ta-da! Sorry about that. I was fiddling with the microphone.
I was staring into space.
So anyway, thank you so much. Very interesting, and I'd love to hear from you, Kevin, about the murals. And if you do get the vicar to do something, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm sure Julia and I will go up and visit the church and have a smooch round anyway.
Smooch round?
Well, what I meant was, you know...
I'm just... What is that, a sneak or a...
Smooch. You have a smooch. You have a look. Have a look-see.
I thought smooch was kissing.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll do that.
No, I wasn't. That wasn't what I was. Smooch. When people say you have a smooch round, That's not... Kissing isn't the first thing
No,
that
I've
comes
heard
to
of
mind.
scooch around.
Oh, okay, scooch. Yeah, just of a smooch.
Am I just being silly?
It's well, I've always used smooch as in, like it's like shuffling about and looking at things, having a smooch.
I use smooch about smooching my putty cat. I want to smooch your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have two different meanings for
Poor
the
kitty
same
cat.
word.
Poor kitty cat.
Yeah, poor kitty. We're going to have a look at the gallery, of course. That'll be coming up shortly, ladies and gentlemen. But I wanted to talk about the next group meetup.
Yeah.
Very exciting. We had a lovely time in Liss when we did it before. It was brilliant. Loads of people turned up. We had Victoria the traction engine, even though it was a wet and miserable day, and that was in August.
I know, even though it was a wet and miserable day, how are we going to top that? We had Victoria the traction engine giving rides.
Yeah.
We had blah, 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 and there was this amazing hollow oak tree.
Yeah. We had a pub.
Yeah, pub with food.
Yeah. So what we're after is some ideas of somewhere to go and where it would be good. If anyone can offer anything or has got a brilliant suggestion, then please let us know. You can let us know now if you've got some ideas, or if somebody says, hey, I want to take control of this and arrange something or do something, then let us know. Obviously, we've got to think about location, where it might be. And when, but sorry, I heard from your excitement.
What? Sorry about.
I don't know. You saw something and
Yes,
you were going to
yes.
say something.
Kevin Hall says Snoop. Linda Riddle says I would say that's kissing, smooch. Debbie Martin says mooching around. That's probably what I was thinking. Mooch.
Maybe it is mooch.
Another Snoop. Snooch up a bit. Move up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh no,
was
that's
right.
a scooch. He said.
Scooch. Mooch. Maybe
Well,
it is mooch.
There's another one for the.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Vobes.
Yeah, I would have. Personally, I would. I mean, I've always said I'll have a smooch round at such a. But maybe it's mooch. Maybe that's the word I've mispronounced. I suffer from this strange mangling of the English language, and you've noticed it.
It's very endearing, I have to say.
Like retrobates. I mean, I always say it's retrobates when it's not. It's reprobates. Reprobates. Or it's the
Communal, you say.
communal.
And Tarara.
Yeah, communal should
Tarara.
be communal.
Yes.
That sounds weird when you say it, because I've always said communal. I've just misread it, continually said it, and it's stupid because I'm usually pretty good with language, or at least the English language, and selecting words. But clearly, we all have our foibles. Yeah. I have my voboils.
Absolutely.
We
all have a little
wearing your tarara instead of tiara. And I seem to have I knew we were going to write a dictionary about it, or a pamphlet to hand out. Anyway, never mind all that. So it's a mooch round. I think that is the word I'm thinking, not a smooch round. Anyway, whatever. We can have a mooch round.
A mooch around.
A mooch around, a scooter around, all those other things, whatever the other one was. Anyway, Vobisms, that's it, yes. The meetup. I think we should do one, and I propose that we do it after Christmas. It's too early now to get people together. People are going to be out in their spare time going Christmas shopping, or at least sitting on Amazon ordering their Christmas shopping. So I think probably in the new year, and I imagine January is a pretty dull month for a lot of people.
I must say, though, I am quite adamant that I need dates from Glenn Johnson as to when you're not gigging, Nate. And then, then I can put those dates to group and see who can make that date.
So what, we're working around Glenn, are we?
Kind of.
I think we have to work around...
If there's any other dates that other people can't make, then obviously we're going to...
Yeah, I think I think ultimately we just have to pick a date so that everybody's got it in their diary.
Yeah, well...
I mean, this is how you have to do it.
You might never get some people around
I know,
because they have to book like 6-8 months in advance and things like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people that we have to do it around is you and I.
Yeah.
And other people.
And the majority of them.
Yes, but yes, we can put a date out, and a Saturday is a good day. And the thing is, you can't go around just one person individual.
No, I know,
of
favouritism and all that.
That's just I think that would be seen very in no, you know, no disrespect to Glenn, but it would be seen in bad taste to everybody if one person. We have to do it right. We just set a date, and then we you know, if people can make it, they can make it. We'll do another one in 3 months after that. So I'm thinking sometime in January, perhaps the third week in January, when people have got a bit bored. It would be great to be somewhere inside because it's likely to be cold. Travelling may be a problem because we may have snow. And it needs to be, I think, you know, central Sussex again, probably, so that people can get down to it, because we were just into Hampshire, weren't we, in Liss. We need to make it easy for as many people as possible, and so on. But if anyone's got any thoughts, we would love to hear from you. And if anyone's got any suggestions of where to go, or has, like we had with Victoria, the steam engine, an attraction, then that would be great.
Emily Champion says, can we wear medieval costume to the meetup? Don't see why not.
I
Depends
don't-
where we go.
I you know, what you wear
Is up to you.
is entirely up to you. I don't know that at this stage I want to theme it to anything, but if you want to come in medieval costume, obviously it's entirely up to you.
Henry David Allen says, when I say Duke of Gloucester, I always say Dupe of Gloucester.
Ah, there you go.
Go on.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. What words do you mispronounce or have pet versions of? That would be fascinating to know. I'm clearly not the only one then. So that's good. Over the weekend, let's have a quick chat about what we did. Not over the week. Yeah, over the weekend, we went to see Kevin and Cynthia.
We did.
Where did we go?
We went to Hindhead, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went to Hindhead. Kevin and Cynthia very kindly took us on a murder trail. A sailor was murdered up on the old A3 in 1786.
Historic one? Well, it wasn't recent anyway.
I just said it was
But you just
1786.
said, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My thought process was already in play.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it was a historic murder. Any murder is historic, isn't it? Unless it's actually happening.
Yeah, sorry, I was chuckling at Kevin Hall says, how about the 25th December for a meetup?
People might be busy. Yeah. So, anyway, we went up there. We looked for the grave. We went up to the Hindhead. We looked at the Devil's Punch Bowl. We made a video, and that'll be coming out very soon.
Yeah.
So that'll be very exciting, hopefully.
Yeah, that was cool. It was beautiful.
Where did we go today?
Where did we go today? We went to Arundel.
We went to Arundel. Arundel.
Arundel.
Arundel.
We're going to be hung for that.
Oh, are we?
Anyway. Yeah, no.
Not in chains, I hope.
Anyway.
But yeah, where did we go?
All
We went to
Saints-
St Nicholas Church. St
Yeah,
Nicholas
that's
Church.
where we went.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been to All Saints Church somewhere else,
Yeah.
but we went to St Nicholas Church today with the lovely Cynthia Julian.
Yes.
And
Delightful to see you again and meet your doggies.
yes, so you had a good old chat and put the world to rights and how awful I am as
Oh, yes.
A
yes,
person
yes.
to work
I mean,
besides.
No, of course not, yeah.
with all my smooching and mooching problems. Meanwhile, I interviewed a very nice chap, John Berkshire, I think his name was, and we did a whole thing around the church, made a video, which was great, and then we went for a cup of coffee, which was even more interesting, was lovely, and then I dropped you home. Well, I dropped you at school, and I went home and did some mediting, so that we have a video for tomorrow. Tomorrow's video, funnily enough, I think it is All Saints Church. Is it All
I
Saints?
don't know.
It's
I
at
think-
North Stoke tomorrow. The video will be at North Stoke with Dr. Annabelle Hughes, whose book I have.
Over there somewhere.
No, there, look. Could you get it? It's Horsham Houses. That's the one. I knew that one. This is the lady Horsham Houses, did that one. We're not talking about Horsham Houses in there. Can you put it back, please? In the correct place? Thank you. Just on the floor.
No.
Yeah, so we had fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to be
It's
bossy.
gone exactly where I took it from.
Oh, yeah, no, stop mucking about.
Yeah, stop mucking about.
I'm so soggy. Shall we do the gallery?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look, see if there's any
one
messages.
more thing, though.
Yeah, go on.
Anne Osborne says
Yes.
the remote control is called a dibble dabble
A dibble dabble.
in her household. Yeah.
Can you pass... Bob, can you pass the dibble dabble? Is that how it goes, Anne, in your house? Bob, for goodness sake, pass me the dibble double. I'll select what's on the tebble trouble. I like that. No, you can't have the dibble-double. You'll have to fight me for it.
My sister-in-law calls the remote control a mokentoe.
A-
Mokentoe.
How old
That's-
is your sister-in-law?
No, it was a relic from when she was a child.
Oh, I see, and
But
stuck.
it stuck.
When
I think it's cute.
When I was a child, we used to do this to change the channel. And sometimes we had to go because it was all on UHF back in the day. I know I'm old. Anyway, we had black and white television when I was a kid.
UHF?
UHF. I think it went on UHF for a long time, wasn't it? Television. I think it was always on UHF, ultra high frequency. Anyway.
Emily Champion must be having us on. I call woodlice wollywonks, she says.
Wollywonks. Look at those lovely little wollywonks. And their little
Cute.
tiny willy wonks. On the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. I wondered why Anne kept telling Bob to stop his babble, says Mark Selwood. Yes, thanks for that. What we call the TV remote the fat controller. Aha, says Henry David Allen. Yeah, not surprised.
Is it one of those all-in-ones with loads and loads of buttons on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots and
a
some of
fat
them are
controller.
like mega ones. Linda Kane asks, and this is interesting because she's asked this before and I didn't get round to it because I didn't know what the system was. She says, "Are your books in any kind of order? Maybe using the Dewey system? What is the Dewey system? My system is: do we get this book off now or do we get that one? My books.
Do we put them there or do we put them there?
Exactly. That's better. Mine is just random. They go on the shelf. The thing is, I know where the books are, apart from the one John Doe one, obviously. I know roughly where the books should be because I look at the shelves a lot. And if people move the books around, nobody does because nobody comes in my room. But nobody wants to take the books off the shelf for one thing because they think it's all very boring. But I know where the books are, but they're in a random order. So I might have one about the Black Death, and I'll whiz over there to get the Black Death. And then over here I'll have like my Battle of Britain books. But they're not. But there might be a Battle of Britain book over there. Actually, I don't think there is, just so you know. And anyway, I kind of know where they are. Yes.
Matthew Holdsworth.
I want your attention.
I got tittle
I've got something to
I need
tell
to
you.
tittle.
Yeah, go on then.
Matthew says, you had more than one channel, Richard?
More than one chat. Yes, we did have BBC and BBC Two. And then there was the launch of ITV. My goodness, there was such excitement in the house. But nobody watched it because it had commercials. We're all dead posh, you know, in our house. No, we can't watch the commercial stations. No, we don't want to watch the tradesmen. That's how people thought of it when it first started. No, we're not watching the tradesmen. We've just watched the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. Hello, children, everywhere. Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin. Poke your mother's eye out. Squeeze her things. I nearly said something rude. Anyway, should we do the gallery?
Yeah, where's the bucket of cold water?
I haven't got one.
This is so cute. Emily Champion says she had a 7-year-old start his show and tell with the phrase, "When I was a child."
Oh,
How precious is that?
start his show.
His show and tell.
What's a show and tell?
When the kid gets up in front of class and and tells about something
Oh, okay.
of their stuff.
I've never
from
heard
their
that
life.
term before.
Yeah.
Show
It's
and
an
tell.
Americanism. Again.
Oh, yeah, because we're incorporated. Close your ears for a minute, John Berger and Dan Thompson. We're importing a load of American nonsense into our British culture. Oh, please.
There's a wall over there.
Yeah, like the other day, had to go somewhere with the lovely Julia. Drove into a wall. No, drove into a McDonald's drive-through.
You'd never been through one of them before, had you?
In America I have.
Yeah.
I didn't realise we had them in this country.
Have done for quite some time.
It's the most laziest thing I've ever seen. Instead of parking, getting out the car, walking up to the counter, having a little bit of exercise, you just drive in, make your order. There's a woman or a man at the window going, "Oh yes, what's your order?" No, you first of all talk to a robot, then you talk to a man, then there's
you talk to a person through
A robot.
speaker system.
But nobody leaves their car. It's a very odd system, very odd. No wonder we're not...
Oh, I nearly left my car because it took them quite a while to bring my order out.
Cool. Anyway, thought I'd mention it. Laura's going off. Linda Kane says, the Dewey Decimal System is a classification used in libraries to arrange the books via the subject. Each book is issued with a shelf mark number, usually found in the spine of the book and arranged in numerical order. I suspected you might have meant like what the libraries used, like what.
Oh,
and
yeah.
actually,
She's a librarian, aren't you?
some
That's
of my
so cool.
books are ex-library books, and funnily enough, because I buy most of my books are second-hand,
You're probably much more than a librarian.
and some of them, they come from... What's interesting is they come from... A lot of the beautiful, deep, historic English ones come from American libraries. That's the most peculiar thing. You get them and it's like it's stored in some American library, and it's a British book on British history. It's most peculiar. Just when the British, even the librarians in the libraries don't want it. You've set me off now. I've got one with a... Here we go.
Ha! John Berger says
Oh, God.
you drove through a McDonald's drive-through in England back in 2004.
Shush. You're not supposed to tell them that. I know. This has got the sticker on the side at the bottom here. And this is Sea Henge by Francis Pryor. Very interesting book. And it says... I couldn't read the first letter. 9, which is a number, that's why I couldn't read it. 936.101, which is probably something to do with prehistoric people. There's somebody in a coracle, look.
Oh, cool.
Or a dugout, anyway,
Right.
dugout boat. Sea Henge. And chop it down. I'm going to put this back in the library place. To the jury system.
The jury system.
Or the Dewey system. isn't it?
Dewey, yeah.
Yeah. So... Anyway, should we do the library?
Yes.
I mean, should we do the gallery?
Yeah, let's do the library.
Let's do the library. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we still don't have the music, so...
Do
do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do do.
We've got muddled up
do
somewhere.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho,
Let's
do this.
This is the first one, ladies and gentlemen, on our one, and it's... Well, I'll let you do the thing. It's from Paul Hine.
Hemme. Yes, thank you. This is from Paul Hine. This is All Saints Church, the one I probably mentioned earlier. Hursley, near Winchester, Hampshire. There have been at least... Can you be quiet over there? You're making an awful lot of noise.
Putting some fire on the wood.
Putting some fire in the wood. Well done. So this is All Saints Church, Hursley, near Winchester, Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
There have been at least 3 churches on the site, and the 18th century church was rebuilt in its present form by John Keble, the then parish vicar.
No, he sounds like a nice bloke. Imagine the vicar managing to do that all by himself. I always think when these they do impossible things.
I suppose it's probably pronounced Keble because rather than Keble because it's 1B. Right, this one came from Steve Pilfold.
Oh, good old Steve Pilfold.
He took this one at Battle Abbey bonfire festivities.
There's been a lot of those
And
recently.
you can see there's a little witchy looking
face. Oh, yeah. Burn the witch.
Guy Fawkes. No, effigy. That's
Effigy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is coming up now.
Now, this one came from Nigel Sadler. He says, "Hello, fellow explorers. I'm slowly trawling through my archive of mostly 1970s photos and found the following. I've no idea who the boy is, but does anyone know the location?"
Oh, this looks like some primeval burial mound or a giant toad whose mouth is partially open and is swallowing children. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, so what does he say? I'm slowly trawling through my archive of mostly 1970s photos and thought I'd dump them on you.
Pretty sure I
What?
said that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, and
You're
he
just
thought
taking a mick.
he thought he'd dump them on us.
Okay.
No, I'm joking, Nigel. I'm joking. Right, next one up is...
This one came from Maya Ullman Harwood. She says she saw this rather pretty sky outside her classroom, so took a moment to go outside and capture it. Don't worry, the kids had gone home. They weren't
Oh.
left in the classroom on their own.
Oh, the kids have gone home.
Yeah.
Well, it does get dark early now, doesn't it?
Does,
What
yeah.
You know,
But
it's,
not quite that early.
No, all right, fair dues. What about this one then?
This is from Matthew Holdsworth. It's his Acer tree, still looking stunning.
Oh, look at that lovely red. Is that the type of tree that you get at Christmas time in a little pot?
I don't know.
You know, they have all those little
What,
red.
potpourri?
No, they're a little tree, a little tiny tree that they come out at Christmas
yes,
time.
red acer. No, they're you can bonsai them. They do come out as bonsais.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Not
they can
bonfires.
No, bonsai.
Oh, okay.
The
What
art
about-
of keeping a tree small.
Titchy.
Yeah, miniature. So this one is from Glenn Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
This
Who obviously we want to get everything round Glenn
Yes,
Johnson.
okay. You're going to get smack in a minute.
Oh, am I?
You're not too old for that, you know.
No.
Thwack!
Oh!
This is Cheels Roundabout, Crawley. Another hidden gem that everyone drives past.
And if you watch the video, he tells you that that is the old Horsham Road where it joins up with the Brighton Road, I think.
Yeah. And he actually digs a little bit, just like an inch or so, and there's tarmac
And
under
there's
there.
tarmac. Yeah, well, I found that fascinating. Didn't know that, Glenn. So, yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much. What about this picture then?
This one is Cheels Garden Centre, Crawley.
Who's that by?
This is also by Glenn Johnson.
Oh, good old Glenn.
It says, this is another hidden gem found if you walk behind the old building at the garden centre.
Are you allowed to walk behind the garden
Well,
centre?
I presume so, because
It's a lovely tip.
There's another video showing him do that.
Oh, I didn't see. I got bored by then. No, I didn't. Had to do something. The kettle had finished boiling or something had happened.
Yeah.
Digging a
This
hole.
is from Cynthia Walder.
Yes, good old Cynthia.
She visited Watts Cemetery Chapel.
Which one?
Watts Cemetery.
Yeah, I'm asking which one.
What
Cemetery?
What cemetery? What's a cemetery?
I don't know. It's somewhere
What's
where
a
dead
cemetery
people go.
chapel?
Oh, well, it's one of those places where the dead get up to go and...
I thought it might be a cemetery where chapels go to rest in pieces forever. Anyway, but I think that's a beech tree. It's very lovely. Lovely big crown on it.
I thought that was a train shed.
Is it some sort of mausoleum or something? I don't know. This one
Yes.
is from Andy Dalgleish.
Okay.
This is The Mount in Lewes, south of the station.
In Lewis.
Yes, sorry,
It's all
Lewes.
South of the state. I've been up there, filmed up there.
Your turn to get me for that one. I do stumble on that one all the time. Anyway, south of the station.
Yeah.
It's a mini Silbury Hill, alike.
Yeah.
Theory is that it's part of the castle, but it's not defending anything, and it's not very big. Neolithic tools have previously been found when they were cutting the golf course or something. I think.
Oh, right. Now, see, my theory is that they were building a Motte and Bailey castle and someone got it wrong. And they got that far and someone said, "No, you idiot! Further up the hill! Further up, you twit!"
Or do you suppose it's an ancient folly?
Oh, yeah, it could be an ancient folly.
But before we move on,
yeah.
For Andy Dalglish's father, happy 83rd birthday.
Happy 83 years of age.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about this?
This is from Jay Carter. This is Warnham Church in Sussex.
Oh, Warnham.
A beautiful display of knitted poppies.
Oh, lovely. Knitted pop. Never thought of seeing
Knitted poppies.
Never heard of. What a great idea. Knitted poppies. Very original. And what about this then?
This one is also from Warnham Church, taken by Jay Carter in Sussex, and it's a stunning yew arch.
It's an archway into a yew tree, is it?
Yeah, it's an archway through the yews.
Oh, through the yews.
It's a shame we didn't get a little bit further up on the right hand there, because the top of that brickwork, there's a nice crenellation. It looked really atmospheric.
Oh, hang on. I might be able to... where is it? Hang on.
Zoomy outy?
Oh, yeah, because you see, the trouble is people put their pictures in very strange ratios into the group, so sometimes you can't get the whole picture in.
Yeah, it's all complicated and weird and confusing.
Yeah, so that's what it kind of looks like with the crenellations, but I'd have to shrink the whole thing down to get the whole, because
then you'd get the black either side and yada yada.
It's because this is the problem. We keep telling people and they just ignore us. Here's the whole picture, and you only get a titchy picture because they're filming upright as opposed to portrait instead of widescreen. If you did it widescreen, because the screens are actually that way around, you can turn the phone round.
Sorry, Jay, I just walked you into that one.
But you know, so sometimes I find it hard to get the picture to fill the screen. In order to do that, I
do try to select images that will be as easy as possible. But
no, I know
some of them are
you
just
do.
so good that I'm like, no, we need to see at least a bit of that one.
Well, the last one is another one that is the same thing. It's photographed in a narrow thing.
No prizes for guessing who this is taken by.
Who is it taken
I'll
by?
tell you anyway. It's Joe Smith, our one and only Joe Smith, the wonderful Biddenden
Church, All
organiser.
Saints. Yes, that's right. And I filmed those poppies going on. Don't mention the clock, but I filmed the poppies going on the church. I'm not allowed to say anything about the clock, but it looks brilliant. And what a brilliant picture that is.
It looks fantastic, doesn't it?
And sometimes you get those pictures like that where it is obviously portraits would do it, because if you widened it out, as I'm trying... Oh, I've lost it now. Where's it gone?
Don't know.
It's I've got the wrong picture above it. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you for your gallery pictures today, and I apologise for the slight hiccups en route from myself, which I'm always doing. Let's catch up with some comments, shall we, and see how we're going. We've only got 4 minutes of the show left. Ooh. It's amazing how that time just zips by. Some people say this show should be 5 minutes long, and they're probably right. But anyway, Emily Champion says, looks like a crazy golf venue. Don't know where you're thinking about there. The only 1970s photo I've got, says Mark Selwood, are ones from Pontins with bunny... Can you go back up? Bunny girls sitting on my dad's lap. Oh, that's embarrassing. I wonder how old those bunny girls are now. They're probably rabbit girls now, aren't they?
Probably.
Yeah. Any other? Linda Klein says, Glenn finds some great places on his walks. He does. More power to you, Glenn.
Emily Champion says, yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
Y-E-W.
Oh, yeah. Paul Hines says that these... Oh, it's just gone. Can you just go back up? Thank you. Says, there is a drive-through off licence in Enniskillen.
A drive-through off licence in...
Enniskillen? Enniskillet.
Oh, is he in Beirut at the minute? Was
I don't know where that is. A drive-through.
Someone said they were in Beirut.
Drive-through off licence. Yeah, have another bottle of scotch, please, mate. And in the end, you just keep going round and round and round. Shouldn't be drinking and driving. Landscape, says Maya. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. I used to live in Warnham, says Jonathan Belusic. Did you like it in Warnham? Who did you warn that you were living there? Richard Suggett says, that's a lot to fit in 5 minutes. Yeah, well, we could condense the show a little bit.
Kevin Hall says, zips past like your videos. Too fast, Richard.
Too fast?
As in, he likes them to be longer.
I know. Leave them wanting more is what I say. Mostly they're like leaving wanting. It's like, what? What was that? What was that about? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Northern Ireland. It's in Enniskillen. In Northern Ireland. Yeah, that's Enniskillen, that's what I thought it said, but it put an ET on the end. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's kind of it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I can't say normal service will be back because I'm still working on the kitchen. Probably be like this, a bit cockeyed for the next...
For a bit, until the Essie's in, I think.
Till the new Essie's in. And then, of course, we'll have to do a show from the kitchen. With the new Essie blazing away. And we'll do some cooking. That would be great. We'll do some cooking on the Essie. But I can't fire the Essie up until the plumbing is done. So Mr. Suggett's going to help me on that. But Mr. Suggett works for a living. So...
he's got to squeeze you in, hasn't he?
Got to squeeze me in. I'll have to employ him. So there we are. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute hoot. We are... What?
Henry David Allen says it's in...
I've read that.
Oh.
I've read that.
I'll wake up.
What I could cook in 5 minutes, says Richard Suggett. Yeah, there we go. We could, on my, whatever it's called, the Essie, it might take a bit longer. Eggs. Yeah, you can cook eggs. Thanks, Glenn. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's been ever so nice.
It's been very nice.
Oh, so lovely.
I know that... we've got some more bits and bobs to go out and do some shooting, some more walks and stuff, but we'll tell you all about that when we do them. But, yeah, the weather might get grim, so who knows what we're going to get up to, but we'll get up there. We'll be doing some mooching around some old churches, so we're looking forward to Kevin Hall getting that vicar ready for a bit of mooching, because I'm not smooching with the vicar, unless it's a lady vicar.
No vicar smooching.
Might be a nice... lady vicar.
Ooh, ah.
Who misses. Anyway, enough of this gay
More
banter.
tea, Vicar.
Yes, please. Actually, and a cup of tea would be great. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, one and all. I can't play the music, so all I can do is put the opening at the end so you know it's sort of finished. But from Julia and I...
TTFN.
TTFN. Goodbye. Goodbye.